right, let's do an audio and visual check. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Let's make sure. Yeah, audio's good. Audio looks good. Audio sounds good. Yeah, audio sounds good and it looks good. Yes. Well, let's get started. Everybody. Welcome to Slow Markets. I'm Coach Dakota, Coach DBA. As always, in the YouTube chat, there's our top step risk disclosure from Bruno, who is on top of it. I mean, Bruno, greater than the Nightbot, that is for sure. How's everybody doing? How's your weekend, your nice long weekend? Hopefully we were able to relax, not think about the markets, not stretch, or not stress. Maybe go stretch, touch grass. I hope everyone enjoyed the extended weekend. Let's give it a minute while I get a few things set up on my end. Get a second. Let's see. Jeff Prow says, did you get a car? No, I'm still undecided. I extended my rental another week. I paid $400 to extend my rental another week so I could have more time to just go car shopping. Edwin says, great, past your 5 XFAs. Past your 5 XFAs. Wow. Dude. Did I say dude? All right, let's get the show on the road. Let's get it in. It is not Sunday night. It's Monday night, which is, it's a short week. It's kind of like a Sunday night. Markets were closed. Not technically, but the New York Stock Exchange, it's Labor Day. Today's a holiday, and I'm not expecting much of a volatile market. We're going into a nice, fresh week. First thing I want to do, let's take a look at this news. If you guys missed it, Anne-Marie was on a little bit earlier. I'm on tonight as of now. So let's take a look. Let's see what's going on for this week. If you didn't already, there's this nice tool here in the Trader Hub. Let's take a look and see. Tomorrow, which is Tuesday, it's a short week. I got to remember that. It's September. It is September. August, gone. September, here we are. It's going to be 2026 before we know it. Not really too much coming in. We have PMI, so the market's going to be paying attention to that, seeing what's going on with the manufacturing PMI. We can see some volatility in there. The next day, which is Wednesday, we have JOLTS job openings. JOLTS job openings and factory orders. And let's take a look. On the 4th, we have jobless claims, trade balance, followed by up non-farm. This is going to be the big day, I think. This is going to be the big day. Friday, non-farm payrolls. We can hand unemployment. So we can see a lot of volatility Friday. Not too bad of a week, to be honest. It's a short week, and it seems like there's numbers coming out each day, so maybe we could see an increase in volatility. Maybe we could start to see some seasonality changing, right? We talk about seasonality, summer doldrums, where we see more of a lower volatile environment. So let's take, NASDAQ's catching a bid. NASDAQ's catching a bid right there. And look at that, bouncing 20 points. It's actually looking like, I think I might have. We'll see. We'll see if the NASDAQ look like we might push up. Let's do a overall review. I don't want to miss anything, but let's start on the daily chart. Usually over the summer we see not as crazy a volatility as we've seen that before. Look at July, right? We circle this, say, okay, July, not so volatile. And now we're starting to see August, seeing more volatility pick up. We've seen kind of last week a lot of indecision. We've basically hung out here around 23,500 plus or minus 100 points, right? The top end of this has been the 600s. The bottom end of this has been the 400s. And if we pull up an ATR, which is average true range, and I like to use this for a decent gauge of volatility. If you missed it, last week I did a strategy builder session every single night for 30 minutes, and I used the ATR. So we look at the ATR. We've seen what happened. This was during the tariff, and we had peak volatility back at the beginning of April. And ever since then, it's been a steady decline. Nice steady decline in volatility, especially over the summer. Look at that dramatic difference. We were getting almost over 800 points a day here in the NASDAQ, and then it just declined. And the lowest point right near the end of July, 240 points a day. Very slow, very, very, very slow when it comes to volatility. You can see these, this was last year, last August. Man, time goes by freaking fast. And now let's zoom in and say, we're kind of seeing we're not kind of, we are. We've seen a nice spike in volatility. Let's zoom in. Where back at the end of July, beginning of August, we've seen that spike in volatility a couple times. We're hanging around 280, but definitely we are going into fall, transitioning to fall. Holidays, we might start seeing a pickup in volatility. Let's take a look and see where we were at last year about this time. We were around, what was this? August, September, about 400 points per day. On the lower end, November, October, we're kind of hanging around 300. So that's just something to be aware of. Something to be aware of is that seasonalities can change. Don't want to get caught off guard. Man, it's like, why is this changing? What's going on? Same thing that we were talking about through July, where we've seen lower volatility in July. Now we're seeing a pickup in volatility, and anything can happen, right? With news events. We just had Powell and the Jackson Hole Symposium, and they were talking about reducing interest rates. And so I think now the market's going to be possibly more hyper-focused on, it's already, focused on inflation, but we might start to see these numbers move a lot more, move the markets a lot more. Like, wow, okay, inflation, maybe more hyper-focused on these jobs earnings and inflation data, and then, of course, non-farm payroll. And so it's going to be interesting to see, as always. Always interesting. It's just something to be aware of, that we could possibly start to see a seasonality change in these markets. Of course, we'll be having rollover, not just NASDAQ, talking about gold as well. And wait till we get to gold. Wait till we get to gold. I have a little bit of FOMO on gold. Yeah, lots of FOMO on gold. Let's just say that. Not just a little bit. I have a lot of FOMO on gold. So let's just review this. Let's go through our regular rapid fire. This is a level of support here in the NASDAQ, these 23,400. You can see this was a level of support and resistance earlier at the beginning of August. Another resistance back here in July. So we've been kind of hanging above that. Buyers been stepping in on this level. If we do break down below, can we see a retest of somewhere lower? Maybe we look to find a higher low somewhere around that. I would like that. Some traders, I was talking about this last week, is this going to be a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder pattern? And if we do start to break down, can we see a retest of maybe these 22,800s? I don't know. This is the NASDAQ. It's the major stocks. I have a bias of the market tends to go up and to the right in the long run, but this is an inflection point. Obviously, it's a decision zone. Buyers want to buy it here. If we break down, then you can see a lot of momentum step in, stops getting popped, and this market starting to sell off. So let's zoom into an hourly. Let's see what's going on in the hourly chart. There was Powell's Symposium, right? We had that huge spike in the markets. We had this nice resistance. We broke out of this resistance. We came back. We retested. Now, this is important. We retested what was resistance, and we did not hold. We did not hold as support. Instead, we failed, and we broke down to the bottom end of this zone. And so that's where we are at now, the bottom end of this zone. What happened last time we were down here? Buyers stepped in. To be honest, this is looking very tempting to me to say, wow, buyers are stepping in down this level. What happens when we're in a zone? You buy at the lows, sell at the highs. Well, is this an opportunity to buy at these lows and look for this market to maybe have a run back up to these highs of the 23,600s? This is my game plan going into this week, or at least early this week, because this could happen overnight. Markets happen fast, they change fast, but this is kind of the technical analysis. This is the market structure that I'm looking going into this week. I talk about it relatively often. I think I'm going to be a little bit more structured going forward to help traders out. as I've been talking on the social medias and on my my Twitter and my my Instagram, I guess we could say, the Instagram. It's been fun there. I've started to love the community a lot more. First on Twitter, it was kind of just drama, and so I've learned to use that block button and only keep the people around me and see what I want to see, right? Just, okay, you want to be toxic? Block, right? And I think we all need to learn how to do that, to where it's like, you don't want to see something, you don't have to see something. We live in 2025. It's technology. You could block people. You could join the community that you want to be around. We're the sum of the people we surround ourselves with. And so I've been doing that a lot more. Everyone has opinions. That's the reality of it, right? And so I enjoy doing this, and that's why I'm doing it, right? So I'm going to be a little bit more structured. Just like last week, we had what do we call it? We had the strategy building session. It's recorded. It's on Topstep's YouTube right here, and I did 30 minutes each night. This week's a short week, but the following week, I want to know your opinion. What do you want to see? I think I'm going to do something like maybe putting a strategy to the test, right? We take that strategy that I was referring to and we built last week, and maybe I find some trade setups. We talk about it a little bit more in depth, but I am definitely open to opinions, seeing what the slow markets audience has when it comes to what you want to see. A lot more market structure. I'm doing this every single day. I get traders ask me, hey, Coach Dakota, what's your strategy? What is your strategy? Because I showed this. Before we run over to gold. Let me just show it here, because I need to address this. I feel like I need to address it. But maybe we could talk about it a little bit later. And while I'm doing that, let's do hashtag slow markets. If you've been here before, you know the drill. Hashtag slow markets. There is the Twitter. There are the social media accounts. If you want to go through, tag me in it. A lot of the traders do. Is it a trade? What are you trading? What's maybe your Sunday routine? What's your trade station? Just something. Tag me. Do hashtag slow markets. And then, of course, as always, let me do my new and found gram, my Insta, my Insta. I'm new at this influencing type stuff, right? Or what do you call it? So let's get this started. And let me see. Oh man, I am fumbling here. Just give me 1 second. What's a 3-bar reversal? Yeah, Bernie. Yeah, that's still on my to-do list. Make a 3-bar reversal. There we go. And we're good. Typos killing me tonight. Okay, we're good there. Do hashtag slow markets. We'll check that about halfway through the session. Remember, Sunday nights are usually only an hour, but since it's not Sunday, it's Monday, but it's holiday. Today is a holiday. Tonight will only be 1 hour long. But this is my game plan on the NASDAQ. Thoughts, everybody. Let's hear the chat's opinion. What are your thoughts on this NASDAQ? Are you bullish, bearish? Can you discuss how the scaling positions at some point in this session? Of course. I've talked there's a few episodes where I've talked about it, but yeah, I could definitely go through and do it. It's Tuesday here, yeah, depending on where you're around. Topstep's international, right? So it might be Monday for me. It could be Tuesday for you. We'll take a look at gold in just a minute. Oh man, bearish. It depends on your time frame. Waiting for the gold short bear. A few more bears. Should we take a look at the tilt? What's the tilt? The tilt is bullish. Tilt 61% long the NASDAQ. Numbers tomorrow will decide where we go. Yep. Gold dragging. Any suggestions for a newbie? It depends on what suggestions you're looking for, Marvin. Bull, but what is your stop? Bull, but what is your stop? Okay. That's my game plan, right? This is kind of what I'm looking at. These are the two major zones that I'm looking for in the NASDAQ. Maybe there's some buying opportunities. It looks like we are bouncing off this, 430 level. Anything can happen. We had that liquidity sweep on, we already had it. I forget. Yeah, it's futures, even though it's a holiday here in the United States. Markets were the future markets were tradable. So it looks like we did run down to these 23,300 and just bounced off that, which is interesting. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart before we switch over to this gold. Let's switch over to this gold. Man, look at this. Yeah, see, we've seen that happen before our very eyes, that nice bounce. As soon as slow markets started, markets liked it, I guess. Started slow markets, and we are bouncing. I'm looking maybe even tonight we could return and come up here and test these 500s. You can see there's that consolidation, right? Buy low, sell high. So maybe we do get up right back up to these 500 levels tonight. I mean, that's which way the market's going right now. I mean, we had kind of a double bottom, kind of a reversal, right? We held this level. We broke through this pivot. Nice little breakout trade. As soon as I went on air, right, that's the first thing I noticed. We started breaking up, going through these 480s. So that's all I have on the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at gold. This is the one where this is my FOMO. This is where the FOMO came into me. Look at gold. Everyone knows my analysis over the past few weeks, right? Everyone knows. If you've tuned into slow markets, you know, or at least you should know. Whenever someone's like, yeah, I watch you on slow markets, well then, I mean, it goes without saying, right? If you watch slow markets, you know exactly what I'm referring to here. I had some very nice long positions. Very nice long position, like not very leveraged. I was long like 15 minis in gold. And man, if only we had a runner, that would have been a beautiful buy the dip, right? DBA concepts. That would have been beautiful. That woulda, coulda, shoulda. Put that in the woulda, coulda, shoulda bucket. I would be a billionaire if I would have been able to take all my woulda, coulda, shoulda trades. But anyway, what gold has been doing is ranging, right, on the daily. Amazing buying opportunities near these lows. That's where I was buying it. I was talking about this reversal with Coach Jay last week. Beautiful reversal. We talked about it. I love slow markets. I do this for free. Coach Jay joins me, and we talked about this all last week. This beautiful reversal saying, hey, and even Barron joined me Thursday and was talking about this same thing. Gold looking like it's reversing. What happens? These have been beautiful buying opportunities. And targeting these 3,500 up here, this upper zone. What happens in the range-bound market? Same thing I was talking about the NASDAQ. Buy low, sell high. This is looking at a very higher time frame, right? So not really like scalping. Yeah, maybe you're looking for scalping. It's nice to always zoom out and take a look at the bigger picture. So zooming out gives you a bigger picture overall view. So when you are scalping or trading, you kind of have an idea of a little bit of a bias like that. I'm not going to be surprised if market goes up to 3,500 while you're scalping it in between. And so it played out beautifully. However, we are in an interesting spot. Every single time we got up to this level, look, the first time we got up here, the high was, this is all-time highs in gold, I believe, 35.95, and we just had a major rejection, major wick, and every time we got into these like 35.20s, we were rejecting. We closed. This is a interesting spot. Gold closed above 35.45. Gold's pushing. It's staying up here. So I'm curious to see. Of course, I might expect a pullback, right? I'm expecting a pullback. However, I don't want to be the person that says this time's different, but could this time be different? And I'm going to say I'm leaning towards yeah. I'm going to lean towards yes. I am leaning towards yes, that this time is looking like it's different. And here's why. How fast did it get up here, right? 3 days and then rejection. 2 days rejection. It kind of consolidated, rejection. This looks like a strengthening market, right? Each day we're getting stronger and stronger. We pushed through all of this resistance that I already had, right, throughout May. So we have not seen these highs that gold's at since April, right? April, peak fear, right? Peak fear when we was looking at the NASDAQ, and we are through all of these highs. Now, we did get there We got almost to that exact zone, 35.30s, but look at that instant rejection. Instant rejection. Now we're kind of holding up in that level, and someone's pointing out this is a bear flag. Yeah, I mean you zoom out, right? What happens? Gold had that big rally 2024 throughout the beginning of the year, and we just kind of flagged. Higher lows equal, and if we, I mean, are we breaking out? Are we breaking out in this gold? I mean, that's very possible, very possible. And one thing that we could look and say, well, what happens when we do break out? Can we see a nice breakout trade? Where can this market go? I mean, where can we go? We can measure this. Can we see these 3,800s? Can we see 4,000 here in gold? When we hit all-time highs, we know how gold could rally. But I'd love to see a pullback first. I want to see a pullback in gold. But want in one hand, hope in the other. I don't know. Or am I too bullish, right? There's a lot of people looking at what we're looking at right now. Everyone's looking at the same data. Can everyone be too bullish and the market sell it off? Maybe. That could be very possible. But that's what I'm looking at going into this week here on gold. Let's zoom on to an hourly chart. And what was I talking about last week? Buy the dips. Buy these dips on gold. I'm happy I went with that strategy. Thursday night, every night it seemed like here on gold was you buy the pullback, buy the dips. When gold trends, it's a beautiful thing. It has been a very beautiful thing here in gold, and it's been buy the dips. You know what? Let's hold that thought. We might have some breaking news. We might have some breaking news here. Maybe a little bit of breaking news. I need to confirm it though. We need to confirm this breaking news first. Trend lines. Silver broke out. Yeah, higher lows, higher highs. Buy the dip on this gold. And man, you don't realize how big of a rally gold really has had. Like $54 the 29th in just 2 hours, right? 2 hours, another $45 in 2 hours. Yeah, these big rallies. I got chat wild up. I got chat. Yeah. Let's see. Just hold up, chat. Hold up, chat. Okay. All right. Gotta hide some. Get this. Yeah. There's the night bot. Sunday night. It's Monday night. Nope. Tonight's Monday night. It feels like Sunday night though. Feels like Sunday night. All right. Thumbs up if you're ready. Break. Okay, look at the chat. Look who's going to be joining me. Look who's joining me. My man. Coach Jay. How are you?
Can you hear me?
I need to turn my speakers on.
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing, chat?
You forgot it's Monday already.
It is Monday.
There you go, man.
What's up? What is going on? I got a little hue in front and behind me. I can see that there, but I'll fix that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're good. I could hear you now. Chat was able to hear you the entire time, but how was your weekend? We just got done talking about this amazing gold rally. So, yeah, how was your weekend? And if you want to talk a little bit about gold, you don't have to worry about sharing your charts. It's kind of a relaxed Monday. Yeah.
This is the first time I'm looking at the charts all week, which is a good thing. That means it was a good weekend. Spent some time with some friends, some family, in the middle of a little bit of a move. So it was a busy weekend, but it was a good one overall.
Zane, the chat's thinking I clickbaited them, whatever that is. Yeah, I told him breaking news. Breaking news is you're joining me.
Good news, Jay's here.
Jay's here.
Jason.
Jay's here. No, everyone's been watching the Twitter, man. Everyone's watching the Twitter, watching MP. I tell everybody, say, hey, if you want to find news first, you tune into the Day Show on Topstep TV or pay attention to Twitter. And it seems some of them's probably been paying attention to Twitter. MP or the Topsteps accounts, they always love to tease stuff. And we know
See something this weekend? Did I miss it?
Not really. It's just teasing as always. Topstep's been talking about, the heartbeat, right? The drum beat every week. Topstep's been just something awesome every single week. And MP, I believe, is teasing something within the next, I don't know, this week.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I find out when the chat does. So
always got to watch MP. If you're not following him on Twitter, if you don't have his post notifications on, I suggest you turn them on. 'Cause if you want breaking news, that's where it's coming from.
That's where it's coming from. All I can do is say what's public, and that's all I know. It just says, this is quoting from MP. It says, I mean, it's not, yeah, it's just a tease. It's just a tease. It says, the next biggest explosion of opportunity at Topstep may be here much, much sooner than you think. And then MP's famous T- is now in the hours, not days. So whatever that means.
He loves giving us a countdown.
He loves doing that T-. Is that like T- 48 hours, T- 20? I don't know. I do not know. But man, I'm always excited. It's something. It's always something new. Oh man, I'm excited about this. First time looking at the markets, Jay.
Yes.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Do you have a routine?
Gold. What is going on here? We're pretty close to all-time highs. We broke those equal highs that we had over the past, 130 days in gold.
Yeah.
We are not far from an all-time high here, man. I do the opening call every day with Hoag, so I do have to do some prep before then. But my prep in gold says when is the all-time high, right? That's really
tomorrow.
The only thing I'm looking at here. This market is just
maybe this week. I don't know.
Did most of this rally happen over? So the markets were technically open, right? This morning you could trade.
Correct.
Did most of this rally happen then? When does this move happen?
It looks like August at the close. No, 29th, August 29th. We had that big push on the 29th.
Sunday.
Yeah, and then the 31st, we had another big push through the 3,500s. And we didn't even spend any time at 3,500s. We just went.
No, we didn't.
We just went straight through, like $50, just straight through. Kind of consolidating in these 3540s. But I was telling the chat how much FOMO I had when I had that big long gold position down here from the 3380s or 3390s.
It was a great trade.
And it's just like, okay, I was happy with, $30,000 and I was taking profits here as we were like, my profits was like 3410. Here we are $100 higher in gold. I'm like, oh,
this was going to happen, right? I mean, if you look at gold on a higher time frame chart, right, it kept rejecting at this area. So, were you even going to hold it through this? I think you played it the right way, right?
Yeah, holding it through the right weekend. And even though, that's why I said, you got to be happy with following your process, taking those wins. And it's just the reality of the markets, right? You're always going to have FOMO. You're going to always have that, what if, that woulda, coulda, shoulda. We were talking about that, right? How much is your woulda, coulda, shoulda count up this year? This is definitely one of them. The markets are always going to leave you unsatisfied no matter what. You're going to always have profits left on the table. Could have got a better entry, could have done this, could have done that. And that's just the reality. You just got to be happy with being able to take a piece out and do it consistently and do it for a long period of time. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
That's all it is. Did the equities do anything? So it looks like most of that rally, and this is kind of funny. We talked about it being a holiday. Everyone make sure he takes time off. It was only a holiday in the US, right? So that rally all happened, it looks like Asia session last night, where if you're still, we got traders around the world. If you're still watching the markets, there is opportunity. And 1.5% rally in gold while most people in the US were like eating hot dogs or
I know. Labor Day.
on their fifth or sixth beer, right? But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
markets are gonna market.
Exactly. I mean, there's put another one chat in my woulda, coulda, shoulda. Came on air, and as I was logging in, I said, "Oh man, there's a good long opportunity." As we started the breakout, as I clicked on stream, and we're breaking through these 450s. I'm like, "Ah, this is great." Looking for a push back up towards 500s. We're 30 points higher. Man, these markets are moving tonight, so we are seeing some decent trading, some decent volatility. And I was talking about that, seasonality, kind of. Are we past these summer doldrums? Are we past this summer trading yet? We're starting to see, do I dare say better opportunities, more tradable markets? I'm going to lean towards yes. I'm liking this. I mean, this was definitely tradable that I'm seeing, especially here in slow markets.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep, definitely seeing some movement. I'm excited to get back into trading tomorrow. I think summer trading is over as well. The volatility last week was great, but kids are going back to school. Everyone should be back at their desk trading full time. The weather's changing a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. It's time to lock in a little bit. You were looking at 450s in the NASDAQ, Dakota?
Yeah. As soon as I tuned in, I was on this 5-minute chart, and I'm like, man, this is a beautiful opportunity to get in long. And I mean, that's one of the things about streaming. I go back and forth with people on the internet people all the time. They're like, man, why are you a better trader when you're not on camera, or why don't you place all these trades on camera? Like, this is exactly it, right? You're sitting down at your desk, you're logging in, you're getting everything set up, and you might see an opportunity, but you haven't had time to just sit there and analyze and just focus, right? Because that's what it requires as a trader. And even though I didn't go through that yet, the opportunity was happening. And of course, you're not going to just shoot first and ask questions later. You need to go through those proper steps. And by the time I'm done going through those proper steps in front of everybody and on air and answering questions, the trade's passed. That's the reality of it. And that's the reality of what we do here, Coach Jay. And what I've been working with Coach Hoag on is, man, how come whenever I am not on air and I'm just trading by myself, I could crush these markets? And I posted it over the weekend of my month of August. But then sometimes when I'm on air, I struggle a little bit. And this is a good example of, hey, I've been putting the community first, and I will put the community first when I'm here. I want to put my best foot forward, helping traders, getting great feedback, running a show, doing class. And then if there's an opportunity while we're on air, I'll take it. But we know how these markets are, Coach Jay. While we're on air, we can't tell these markets to say, "Oh, okay, just hold up, NASDAQ. Just wait until I'm ready, and then we'll take the setup." That's not how it works.
Markets do not wait.
Markets don't wait, man. And then they don't have the exact setups you're waiting for that period when you're on camera, and that's the reality. I would definitely challenge anybody who thinks otherwise to come on air. I know the team is more than happy to have traders come on air and definitely prove us wrong. Show us what you got.
Absolutely. Obi says, don't you use the same rules on air versus off air? We try to. And I think more than anything, we try to, but I think what Dakota's talking about is when you're trying to explain something to someone, right? It's a lot harder to just focus on executing trades. Right, it just is what it is, right? Sometimes we're on fast markets in the morning. There's 5,000 people watching, and someone's like, "Hey, what's a 3-bar reversal?" And Dakota's like, "No, I'm trying to make some money here.
Yeah.
It's not the time to explain it." But we also have the role of a coach, so we should be teaching at the same time. So there's balance. It's a balance, is what Dakota's saying. When I'm in my room by myself and I'm just at my office at my desk by myself and I'm trading, I don't have to think about that, right? I can just in execution mode.
Yeah, I mean, it's like walking and chewing gum at the same time. Or just doing multitasking, right? You could multitask pretty good, but then if you're focusing on one task, you could typically do that task a whole lot better if you don't have a lot of distractions. And that's what it is. But when I go through this analysis every single night here on Slow Markets and the same setups I talk about, it's the same setups I take when I'm off air. So yes, to answer that question, the same setups, the same technical analysis, and what I go through on air is the same thing I look at when I'm off air. So just like I went through this on the NASDAQ on an hourly chart, and I've been looking at this level for a good buying opportunity, I said, hey, we could definitely find some buying opportunities on these lower 400s, looking for this market to go up to these 600s. Yes, that's what I'd look at off air as well. And I think we've demonstrated. I've demonstrated. Coach Jay, I know you've demonstrated it. We were talking about gold last week. Heck, I was even talking about that nice gold trade I took. Even before it happened, I was like, man, I like gold up to 3,500. This is where it's going to reverse. Barron came on. We talked about it. And yeah, we are traders at the end of the day. We talk about these setups. And there's a difference between when that might actually happen and when we're doing it on stream. Maybe I need to get better at I don't know. There's gonna be a balance. I know we are getting into this social media. We just got Instagram accounts, Coach Jay. We're getting better at doing this. I could see a day where maybe I'm not on air, but I see a setup. I could record it and I could talk about it a little bit better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But there's also that balance of how much time and effort that's gonna take. Where it's if I'm 20 contracts deep in the NASDAQ or gold, am I going to take that time to do it? If there is, sure. But
you know what you got to do, Dakota?
What?
You have to get the Ray-Ban Meta glasses and just wear them all the time. And then when a good trade sets up, just click it, and then it can get your point of view on the trade.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, you might get a little bit more than what you might bargain for. Crash out. Dakota's crashing out. He's live on Instagram. Crashing out. Oh, do the point of view trader crash out. Then my luck, Coach Jay, is I'd end up going live and forget I'm live, and then people see something they shouldn't. Yeah, that's the way I am. Is I'll forget I'm
to Shannon Sharp.
Not to that extent. All right, not to that extent. Talking about me just driving casually to the gas station to pick up a drink or something. Everyone just sitting me go about my daily tasks, doing laundry, going to the gas station, going boxing. Dakota After Dark. Yeah. I mean, look at this NASDAQ, man. If this isn't FOMO, someone says, Coach Jay, your burner account says, why don't you just trade the way you chart? I try, right? But you see situations like this. Charting's easy. Hindsight trading's easy. The hardest thing to me is trading is the execution and trade management. And so I could chart this up, right? Just mark it all up on the chalkboard. Put it here on the charts, set it up, but then executing and everything is what requires that focus. When do you execute? Where do you get in? Where do you get out? How do you manage your trade? Where do you put your stop loss, take profit? How big of size? What market? That's what takes the most focus, because we've just seen that. I could chart this up. I do my rapid fire every single night. It takes, maybe 15 minutes, but then being able to execute on it, wait for that opportunity, because most of trading is really just not trading, as crazy as that sounds. And then sometimes that opportunity just happens really quick. How fast did that happen? It's very fast, right? And if you're not in the zone and focused, you miss it, right? You just miss it. How much of a window of opportunity do we really have as traders? And when this market's moving, not a lot.
Definitely not.
Not a lot. That was a trade for NASDAQ. I went through the NASDAQ, went through gold. Let's get a few hashtag slow markets on here. So here's a good one. I like this one. Well, I always like the hashtag slow markets. Here's one. Matthew out there. I think I'm saying this. Hashtag slow markets, COVID, but still locked in. Nice. Trading the NASDAQ. Micro gold. What is that? Micro gold. Wish you well. Understand. I will always say this because I've been through it myself. If you're not feeling 100%, try not to force a trade. Sometimes when I'm sick or have a headache, sometimes I end up making some mistakes. So just be aware of your health. Health comes first before for the money. But yeah, you could watch the markets. You could always watch the markets from wherever you're at. And look at that iPad. We all have mobile phones. Gold bouncing though. Gold bouncing the last.
You still trade on your phone, Dakota?
No. I would manage a trade on my phone, but I will not execute and set up a trade on my phone.
Same here.
Yeah, look at gold just throughout tonight.
When gold's rallying too. What's going on?
When gold trends, it goes, man. Look, buy the dip. It's a beautiful market to trade when it's trending. It's not. It can be, but not very often as sporadic as say in NASDAQ. These trend lines in gold, man. Seeing the trend lines.
Even in the shorter time frame, we just got to pull back to the 50s, 35.50, and that held pretty nice. If you need a spot to limit risk on this trade, what is the all-time high?
I think it was like 35.95.
96.30.
96. Okay, we could be there tomorrow. The way gold's going.
95.60 actually. Sorry, 95.60.
35.95.
95.60. Yep.
Okay, got it. What a move! What these markets moving? How has the morning show been with you, man? Just in case everybody knows, Coach Jay has been on the mornings doing. If you want to just recap what that is, I've enjoyed it because when I did the strategy over the week, and you've seen it too. Instead of going through and doing the headache work yourself, going through what news is happening, what's coming out, how it's going to affect the markets. Sometimes, honestly, it's easier. Wake up in the morning, I'll get ready. Maybe I'm doing a workout. Maybe I'm just doing my morning routine, showering. I could just put on YouTube, listen to you and Hoag and the team just talk about it. And then by the time I'm done and ready for trading, I already know what's going on. I don't have to sit at my desk and go through it again.
It's great. It's my pre-market prep as well, right? We're an hour before the markets is usually what I would do by myself. But, we get to do it in front of, our audience and with Hoag, and Hoag's the GOAT, right? So he's reminding us of his levels, right? So anytime he's like, hey, Jay, there's a weekly kickoff level here, and then something I'm looking at aligns with that, that just kind of sets the tone for my trading day. So, every morning, Hoag, JD, and I on the opening call, we take opening range trades in gold and crude oil, but then we go over the markets, everyone in the chat, Dakota. So the way we go over the markets, we go gold first, the S&P, crude oil, and then the NASDAQ. Why do you think we do the NASDAQ last?
Because it changes so much? Why?
It changes so much, and people ask all the time, they're like, why are you guys still talking about gold? The NASDAQ's moving. Yeah, we do the NASDAQ last, and if you're a person that ever asks this question, we do it last because so many people trade the NASDAQ that we want them to have the most relevant information going into fast markets. So if you were wondering why that's the case, we give you the gold information the NASDAQ information right before you have to trade it.
Hey, I like that. Maybe there's something to that. I might start doing that in slow markets too. I'm always going back. I'm looking at gold and NASDAQ, and I'm always back and forth. But yeah, I've noticed that. At the start of slow markets, right at 7:30 p.m. Central, I'll do the opening. We'll go through the rapid fire, which I'll start with NASDAQ, then gold. And about halfway through the show or near the end of my gold analysis, some people start tuning in and say, hey, what about NASDAQ? Hey, do NASDAQ. Just rewatch it. But, keeping up with NASDAQ because it's one of the most traded instruments that here at Topstep. That makes sense now that you say it.
Talk about the NASDAQ, and 5 minutes later, it's a completely different market.
Yeah. It's like it's selling off. We're breaking lows. We're headed there.
Right.
5 minutes later, we're pushing
all-time highs.
All-time highs. That's the NASDAQ for you. It's not for the faint of heart, man. Not for a faint of heart. We need one of those viewer discretion advised. We're going to be trading the NASDAQ on the 100 tick. For sure, man.
Who's in a trade right now? Who's in this gold long?
Oh, don't. I would've, coulda, shoulda.
Somebody's in it.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yeah, we're breaking through those 560. Session highs. We're marching. We are marching by this dip. Kyle Wood says just got out. I am. Me. Look at everyone. Let's take a look at the tilt. What's the percentage long? 69%.
or the memes.
Dude, that
How does
number
this
just
continue to happen?
Dude, that number just follows me everywhere. It's like not even a meme or a joke. It's just there we go. It's changed.
Nakamoto says, if Jay is long, then I'm short. Nakamoto, I'm both long and short.
Oh, wow.
So good luck.
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. So, yeah. I don't want to get in the drama. There's plenty of it out there.
Oh yeah.
So basically I'm the cause of the rally? Sure. Do you always use a 100-tick chart while trading? No. Nope. During fast markets in the morning and during high volatile times, I will use a 100-tick chart. If not, my slow markets, 5-minute is usually the smallest that I will trade. I mean, last week, if you missed last week, I did the strategy session. You kind of see that's how I trade. That's basically how I trade. And we're watching this.
Just going.
It is.
Did we get news over the weekend?
Was there news chat? Let's look. I mean, there's always news and something happening.
Always.
But we are going. Look, you can see what this looks like in a zoomed in. You want to see what it looks like zoomed in. I mean, look, there's the 100-tick chart. It's just going. Buyers just stepping in gold. They were going. Where's the all-time highs you said? 96?
95.60. 35, 95.60.
35.9. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it feels like that's the next target, right? And Coach Paul and I have been talking about it. I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones, but these equal highs that we had here above 35.30s. Once gold got above 35.30, it was going to try. Now, do we hit all-time highs here? Maybe not, but we're definitely trying.
35.63. Will we hit all-time highs tomorrow? I mean, gold's already up 1 1/3%.
Hey, much room is left in this move?
I mean, those are some famous, right? It can't go any higher, right?
And there it goes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, these are tradable markets tonight during slow markets.
Markets out there, just make sure you leave something for us for tomorrow for that New York session. But Quinn says spot chart is only 70 ticks away from all-time highs in gold. So we might see spot gold make that all-time high first.
Yeah.
Interesting. Bitcoin doing?
Should we take a look at Bitcoin? Yeah, I was just thinking that. Didn't you see Bitcoin was pulling back?
Right? It did pull back pretty nicely off the high.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but it's bought up, though. Bitcoin was bought up. We'll switch it to this. Is this a buyable dip?
Bitcoin, let's see. Where are we? You looking at a daily?
Yeah, I'm on the day. I'm on the daily here. I'd like to see a deeper pullback, to be honest.
I'd like to see a retest of 100,000, maybe 104, but really 100,000. See if it actually holds.
Yeah. I'd like to see a retest of below 100,000, to be honest. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if we're talking about to buy and hold it, yeah.
Yeah. I don't trade Bitcoin. I'm referring to like I fumbled. This is one of those woulda, coulda, shoulda trades. I was talking about.
You were looking for 85s, right?
All last year, I was looking for I was looking for this level. Oh, let's see this. Yeah, all last year, I was looking for this level to be retest. I'm like, this is resistance, and this is when we were broke through out. I'm like, yeah, maybe we come down and retest. And so many people's like, no, we're never going back down there. But then, sure enough, we went down there, and I fumbled the ball. I woulda, coulda, shoulda, and I failed to buy that level. I was watching price action. I'm like, oh, we just broke through these 80s. Can we see a little bit deeper of a pullback? And I was waiting for a deeper pullback, and it just shot up. And so I dropped the ball, man.
There's always another one.
There's always another one. Gold's going. Gold's not stopping. Gold is just insane. Where's Coach Hoop?
Where's Coach Hoop? It's not in the chat. I typed coach in the chat, and all I see is Coach J's burner account.
You're going on there so you can talk some smack.
Yeah.
Yeah, gold's just, you think you're going to get a pullback here in gold, and then it just keeps going. Keeps going. It's like one of those, when NASDAQ zombie rallies, right? We get a 10-point pullback in the NASDAQ, and then it goes.
So I think the scariest part about taking that trade, and I'm not saying, and nothing we say here is financial advice, right? But I think the scariest part about taking that trade is traders look at it and they see how far the market's come from, and they think that their stop has to go that far. If I'm getting in gold here, there's no way my stop is going below 50s, right? Because you got to accept that you're late to the move, and I'm just going to go with a tighter stop, maybe go below a swing, right? If I got in here, maybe my stop's below 61.5, right? Where
it's so hard though too. That's so hard to put your stop. Why would your stop be like 61.5? Is it just black pivot at 62?
So yeah, we had that little pullback to 62. Sellers showed that's where as far as they were able to take it.
Yeah.
Right. And then some buyers stepped up. So the trade would be, there are still some buyers in this. If we get a pullback to that area and they don't hold it, then good. I don't want to be in the trade anymore. But it would, I don't have to set much more risk than that, because if these are late buyers, I probably don't want to be in with them anyway. And if they can't hold that position, then, then we do get the pullback all the way to 55s, maybe even 50s. It's just not an easy trade to take because, we're highs of the session.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's one of those things where it's just, man, it can't go any higher, and then it keeps going and it keeps going.
Keeps going.
Yeah. 72% is now long gold.
And how many times have we seen it? Dakota, we've been trading for a while, right? Sometimes you see it and you're just like, oh, I could just get in here, and you never do it. I mean, sometimes you do. Sometimes you take that trade, but there are times where it just keeps going, right?
Correct,
Somebody could have said at 55, oh, this is too high for me to buy, and we're $10 higher than it, right? So it's
more often than I like to admit. We just say we call trades a lot better than we take them sometimes on air.
Yeah, man.
Especially me, where it's like, you just called that one, right? Yeah, you could just do that. Put your stop at 105, and then in another 5 minutes, we're pushing probably like 35.70s, and like it would have worked out. But psychologically, it could be very tough. It could be very tough. Easier said than done. It's always easier said than done.
That right? Spot goes at all-time highs. Is that true? Pull up a spot chart.
Probably getting close. Would it be?
It got to be.
Is spot cheaper than, or spot's more expensive than the future?
I'm seeing spot 34.95 right now.
Okay. Oh, what's that? That's on the Series 3 test, man. It's I don't know why I was thinking incognito, but Tango market.
Contango. Yeah.
What is it, Contango, where it's the spot is higher or lower than the futures? Probably what. I'm not going into that, man. Contango. It's Monday night. It's a holiday. We're not going to Series 3.
You just gave yourself homework. Contango is when the futures is higher than spot, right? Which is a normal market, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And backwardation is the other.
Backwardation. Contango and backwardation. Hey, I'm good at passing tests, okay? Backwardation.
Don't ask me what was on it, but I passed it. No, that's a joke. You're not gonna remember everything. Here's that pullback.
There's that pullback. Yeah, that's gonna be the new gamer tag, huh? Contango. Backwardation. No, my new gamer tag is gonna be BTFD. BTFD.
Speaking of gamer tags, I haven't bought a new video game in a long time, but that Battlefield 6 looks like a pretty good game. I may get that.
I haven't seen what's coming out. The only game I played ever was outside of like chess was like Age of Empires 2. That's like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I buy NBA 2K every year, but it's been trash for the past 5 years. But I feel like it's just like an obligatory buy. I have to get it. But We'll see.
No, my brother's the same way. NBA 2K, or NFL. But then like the
Yeah.
changes aren't as good as it used to be. Where it's like
No,
like
it's the
like the
same game every
iPhone,
year.
right? Like the iPhone. Everyone was so hyped over the new features of the phones, and now it's like, oh wow, we what changed the way this app looks, or
Got
yeah, I
a
don't
couple
know.
extra megapixels on your camera,
I
right?
know. We did, yeah. I mean, look at my phone. My phone has what 6 of whatever these are. I don't even know if they're all cameras or not. But do we even? I don't know.
Yeah.
Madden, yeah. Fake pullback.
That was
Buy
that pullback,
64s.
but you get 3 points, 2 points.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Man, what's moves in these markets, and we are getting a pullback here in the NASDAQ. So I think that's about it. We're coming up near the end of this class. We're already an hour in. It didn't even seem for that long. Jay, like I said, you're always on the opening call. It's a short week.
Sir.
Is there anything important that you're looking at going into this short week on the opening call before the trading day tomorrow? Before you get to that, Coach Jay, tomorrow we are going to be having Braden. Braden, if you're in here, I need to be getting you onto slow markets. And then Chike. Braden and Chike. They're going to be on for fast markets tomorrow. If you don't know who they are, tune in. They're awesome. They're awesome. I haven't seen Chike too much, but Braden, he is in slow markets every once in a while, and I definitely need to get him on. They're great traders. And maybe
Yeah, they're both amazing. They really are.
They are better than me. I could even make an argument that they're a better day trader than me.
Agreed.
I could make an argument. If you are maybe I need to give myself better credit than I usually do. But Jay, me and you tomorrow, maybe during trading
sir.
with Topstep for lunch.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Who do we have on with us?
Me, you, and Alfie, maybe.
Alfie. Nice. That should be fun.
Yeah. It's stacked tomorrow for a Tuesday. Man.
Should be a good Tuesday.
It definitely. But back to that question. Anything that you're looking at specifically going into a shortened week for yourself?
Just watching to see how the volume is trading, right, on a week back. First week back first couple of days back after a holiday. And then we do have some major numbers before the market opens on a lot of these days, right? We got PMI, we have JOLTS, we have non-farm payrolls. So just being patient, right? Not trying to rush into anything. And at the same time, we know that all of these numbers have the potential to give us some volatility. So I'm just ready to execute on, whatever it does. Some of those like JOLTS, non-farm, they give us some great trades. And I'll talk about them a little bit more during At the Buzzer with Coach Paul, exactly how we approach it. But there is some great trading opportunity if you let the dust settle after those numbers come out.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. There's been a lot of times.
I don't want to try to guess where it's going.
Uh-huh.
Tell me where you're going, and I'll be a great follower.
Yeah, it's okay to be a sheep in these markets. So, all right,
Absolutely.
markets want to go up, join them. I need to be better at that as well too, Coach Jay. I like what you said. There's so many opportunities in these markets. You miss one, you blink. There's another one, and another one, and another one. Over the weekend, I did share my August stats of how I'm trading. I've been pushing myself to be, looking at more of a, what do we call it? Quality over quantity. If you missed them, like I said, tune into my Twitter account. I showed it. I talked about it. And I've been working with Hoag. I've been working with the team here, trying to utilize all my resources here at Topstep, and just I need to focus on that. It's not going to be entertaining, right? Everyone in the audience, it's kind of that catch-22, right? You want to see me in a trade. You want me to see me, placing a trade, always making money, always in a trade. It's great for entertainment. It's great for being on air. But sometimes you just have to practice patience. Markets will not always set up when you want them to set up. So if I'm on air for, say, an hour and there's no opportunity, then guess what? There's just no trade. And what I shared on this, Coach Jay, is look how many trades I took for the month. I averaged one a day.
Great month. One
a day. And these are abnormal, right? It's just like anything when it comes to numbers, law of averages. This is a very good month. Of course, not all months look like this, and it's definitely not realistic. But one trade a day. When does that trade happen? You just never know. Is this going to be exactly at this time? At least for me, anyway. It's not like an opening range breakout, right, where you have maybe a better idea of when the trade might set up. But if I'm taking one trade a day, everybody, is that trade going to be in the morning? Is it going to be during slow markets? Is it going to be at noon? Who knows? That's the
Man, gold 3-point pullback, and we continue. That was it. That's all I was going to give you.
Let's see it. Yeah, that's all I gave you, down to those 64. That trade you said, get in now and have your stop at 61 half. Why did you take it?
Didn't I take it?
Oh, we said something. We said something. Now the market's, we're seeing some volatility in here.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. Not sure. But yeah, Coach Jay, I think we're coming to the end of this. Like I said, I'm going to continue to grind it out. I'm excited for what's to come here at Topstep. It's every week something's new, something's coming out. Topstep continues to change the game. I mean, Topstep's been around the longest, right, since 2010, 2011, and all these other have started to show up in like 2020, 2024. It's crazy to think that, how big of a difference in time. And I'm going to utilize it the best I can. I go through these struggles. I talked about it. I talk about it every day, that I'm utilizing everything I possibly can to go through the same process, trading the combine, getting back into a funded, getting back into that live account, and doing it again, doing it all over again.
Believe me, man. I think we can. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm kind of lost for words at what gold is doing right now. So I'm going to close my,
You're getting that FOMO, man. You're getting that FOMO.
Close my account there. I'm just going to lock that down. There'll be more trades tomorrow. There'll be more trades the next day.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early tomorrow morning for Coach Jay. And like I said, Braden and Chike for fast markets. Jay and I believe, for the trading with Topstep around lunchtime. And then again for slow markets. Tomorrow's Tuesday, Technical Tuesday. I will see you then.